Support for Three Legs, Four Wheels is brought to you by Manscaped, who is the best in men's below-the-waist grooming. Their products are precision-engineered tools for your family jewels. Manscaped's Performance Package, the ultimate men's hygiene bundle. Join over 8 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped with this exclusive offer for you. 20% off and free worldwide shipping with the code 3L4W at manscaped.com. Now, if my maths is correct, that's round about 16 million balls, give or take. We'll do a full review of the product next week once we've had a chance to use it. But don't forget, manscaped.com, use the code 3L4W. And now, better do a show. Hi, and welcome to a returning but slightly cut down Three Legs, Four Wheels podcast. It's Paul here this week with, Lee's gone to conspiracy camp. Flood is otherwise engaged. Sian is having a night off because she's been broadcasting non-stop in her day job during the TT. So I am joined for his second debut on the podcast by the new member of the team,
Kieran Thompson. Or just Kieran. You just call me Kieran.
Just Kieran. Thank you for coming back and helping us out, Kieran, because I think we are going to be a little bit short-handed over the course of the summer.
Yeah, well, it's amazing to be on here. It feels like an episode of Succession, where at the start I'm sort of a weird cousin who just likes to say the odd word to the family, and now I'm in the group.
I mean, saying that you're in the group with some of Lee's conspiratorial beliefs is that really the thing to say? I can say what I want now. He's not on the show this week. He's
never going to listen to this, is he?
No.
You look.
Oh, hang on. No, he's got a 9-hour flight coming up. He might do.
Right, this is now a 9.5-hour show.
Right, get all the stuff in at the end.
Yeah.
Lee's going to be away a few weeks because I think he's going UFO spotting.
See, and he's doing it in, I don't know how, he said he was going to Nashville, didn't he?
Yeah.
How far is that from Roswell and all that sort of stuff?
Quite a way, because I think Roswell's in New Mexico, which is kind of, I'm going to get tweets about this, kind of to the right but in the middle, and Nashville, kind of to the left and in the middle, and Nashville's sort of more on the right-hand side-ish.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not an alien guy. I don't get aliens. I've never seen the film Alien. It's not for me, but he's more than welcome to. And I've been to many a dodgy place in my life, I'm sure. I've seen McFly live. So, everyone has their own proclivities. So, yeah, good luck to him.
How did you get through the screening process for this show? Just remind me.
I'm not sure. Hide that Sugar Babes vinyl. Get out of the way.
Actually, you're not the only one on the show that's seen McFly live. Sian has as well.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, 40% of the country probably have. They're like rats. You're never more than 3 feet away from a member of McFly at any time.
I thought you meant the metal band Rat. It's like, yeah, I've seen them a couple of times.
They are definitely not like rats.
No, not in the slightest. We should probably talk Formula One, really.
Oh, yeah, that's it, yeah.
We're desperately venturing off into tangent territories, but you can tell it's been a while since I've done this. We had the Monaco and the Spanish Grand Prix since we last recorded a show 5 weeks ago. Sorry. I don't think either of those were real earth-shattering, massive events, were they?
Yeah, they were just about worth my Now TV subscription this month, but just over the line. I thought Monaco wasn't that bad this year, all things considered.
Yeah, I mean, Monaco has been a bit paradey before, but it looked like it got made interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, 52 laps of it weren't, and then a bit of rain, you go, 5 or 6 laps, this could be interesting.
Yeah.
Oh, it stopped raining. Okay.
Yeah, and then just when they thought it was over, no, it was.
Yeah.
I mean, the main thing to come out of Spain is Mercedes starting to look strong again.
Yeah.
With the upgrades on the car. The main upgrades being it's got side pods.
Yeah. I can't believe it took them a year and a half. You look at that in the first year and go, okay, which teams above us have got side pods? All of them. Right. Should we do that again? Yeah, let's give it another go then. Let's see if it works.
Yeah,
It
I
hasn't
mean,
worked again.
every successful team in recent years has had side pods.
Yeah.
You know, I've always said you can tell when something works in Formula One because other teams start copying it straight away. This is going back to, well, I mean, going back longer than I've been watching it, but I mean, the case in point I remember is when in the late 90s, when Tyrrell came out with the X-Wings that look like, the extension mirrors that caravan owners stick on the wing mirrors.
Yeah.
And then within about 3 months, every team had them at the high downforce circuits, and they ended up getting banned for being dangerous when they kept falling off.
Yeah.
So it was obvious that they worked, but I've not seen a team go, no side pods. Yes, we'll try that.
Yeah. None of the teams below Mercedes who finished underneath them in 2022 looked at their concept, went, that's the winning concept. We didn't turn up this year with 7 non-side pod cars. We looked at all the teams which went, did Red Bull have them? Yeah, they've got them. Yeah, we'll have side pods then. We'll keep them. It doesn't make sense. I don't know what my aerodynamic knowledge is not that good, but I don't get what inside their minds when this works.
Yeah, we need to get Scarbs back on to explain. Try and explain what they were thinking and why it didn't work. I mean, we could tell it didn't work. We just don't know the full technical reasons behind why it didn't.
Yeah, he has to paint us a picture, basically.
Yeah.
He did a piece on F1 TV about it, which I didn't see because I don't have F1 TV. But there was a clip on Twitter about it, him explaining why they carried on with it in 2023, but why it was ultimately a flawed idea. So there is a clip out there somewhere, but getting back on, I mean, it's that would be the better way, so he can actually explain it and basically do a Q&A over why this thing didn't work.
Yeah, so if you're listening, Scarbs, then get in touch, and if not, I'll get in touch anyway. In other Mercedes-related news, apparently the cockpit is too far forward. That's one that's come out in the last couple of races as well.
That's a weird one as well, because essentially what you're saying is their knees or their legs have to shorten, essentially, which I guess isn't hard for Lewis because he's about 2'7", but George he's 6 foot or so.
Yeah.
So you're cramping up the driver.
Yeah, I mean, the Mercedes cockpit has been notoriously small for a while. Cause I remember George saying when he actually filled in for Lewis at the end of 2020 for the one race at the Squoval that he still should have won. He had to borrow a pair of somebody else's racing boots because he takes a size 11, but the biggest he could actually fit in to the cockpit was size 10 boots.
Yeah.
So, best part of 2 hours in shoes that are too small for you and a car that's too small for you.
Yeah.
But yeah, apparently this season the cockpit is too far forward, so they're not as confident with turn-in and suspension.
No, and if you've sat further forward in your road car compared to most people, which I guess doesn't make a huge amount of sense because people's bonnets are as long as the car is designed. But if you sat further forward, you're going to be more cramped up. You're not going to be able to see the things which are essentially higher better. And if they already have poor visibility of their suspension, of their wheel, of where their wheels are for example, on the grid every week, someone gets a penalty for that. George got investigated for it in Spain, I think. Your visibility is already worse than the 18 drivers behind you, or the 6 drivers in front of you and the other 12 behind you in Mercedes' case.
Yeah.
So it's such a strange way of sometimes they come up with these things and go, no one else is going to do this, and it's going to be genius. We'll have DAS, we'll pull the steering wheel back, the camber will change, and the car will be amazing compared to everyone else's. That's banned. Oh, okay. We'll put the Lewis closer to the nose cone. It doesn't. The design philosophy just doesn't make sense when no one else is doing it.
Yeah, I mean, you hear all the stories about, the Red Bull's been completely and utterly designed around Max Verstappen and everybody else has trouble driving it, which is why he goes through teammates at an alarming rate.
Yeah.
Who the hell have they designed the W14 around? Because it isn't either of the drivers.
Do you think they've put it closer to the nose cone because they're going, Lewis will retire and we'll just bring in some 15-year-old Carter? That Kimi guy, Kimi Antonelli.
Yeah.
How tall is he? 4'6". Brilliant. He's great. Yeah, but he's 15. I said he's great. He's going in that car. But short asses only apply. Yuki Tsunoda, 2024 Mercedes champion.
Well, after that photo from last week with the NBA player, the basketball career's on hold.
Did you see the reverse of that? With massive Yuki and tiny other bloke.
I missed that one. I'm sure that's doing the rounds on the socials.
You sort of look at it and go, God, it actually works. That bloke, it makes Yuki look normal size, and that bloke must be about 1'6" compared to Yuki. Yeah.
I'll definitely have to have a look out for that.
Worth a laugh, yeah.
Right, so we have the Canadian Grand Prix coming up this weekend.
We do.
Yes. It's a circuit I like. I don't know what you think about it, but
it's one of those circuits from my childhood in the 90s. Sorry, my first Grand Prix.
Kick a guy when he's struggling to get up because his back's given out. Go on, why don't you?
I seem to remember being in reception when I was talking about the 1997 Canadian. No, that didn't happen. But yeah, I remember from the 90s it being so much fun because it was. This is going to sound a really strange way. Hopefully, someone can sort of relate to this a little bit. In the 90s and the early 2000s, when they'd film something in America and you'd have it at the American frame rate.
Yeah.
And it all just looked a little bit different, like they're filming an episode of Friends alongside, and you go, this is cool. So it's our thing, but it's over there. It's really cool. So for some reason, I liked it because of that, but also because of a Wall of Champions, because you were guaranteed at least a crash a year into the Wall of Champions. Now the cars are too reliable. No one crashes. That's not true. But the Wall of Stroll doesn't have the same ring to it. The Wall of Sargent. So yeah, it's still cool. I still like it, but it's not what it used to be. I don't think.
No, I mean it's it's a great circuit. It does sort of push for racing, and there's some good fast sections. There's some very technical areas, mostly chicanes. I mean, it took me until only about 4 or 5 years ago to realise that it's just all chicanes and a hairpin.
Yeah, it is actually.
Yeah,
long curvy bits. So curve, hairpin, start, chicane, chicane,
yeah,
hairpin, it's 4 fucking chicanes, isn't it?
I mean,
Who designed this?
For once, not Herman Tilke. It's got more chicanes than the Nordschleife.
Has it actually? Is that factual?
Yeah, I don't.
It probably is. Let's just say it is.
I'll say it. I raced it in iRacing last night. I'm trying to remember. Mostly I was just sort of closing my eyes, gritting my teeth, and hoping I made it to the end.
Yeah. Make sure wait. No, I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to get Jack Bill nerved. Right. It wasn't Lauda related. Anyway. Yeah. So.
Oh no, I mean there is a story about Bernie taking Niki Lauda for a lap of the Nordschleife a few years after his accident, and parked up in the spot where he crashed, and he'd actually gone to the pet shop and bought a pig's ear, and left it on the circuit, and said, "Oh, Niki, you might have left this hanging around."
And strangely, that's not even the worst 40 dozen things Bernie Ecclestone has ever done.
No.
That's like, oh, you're a lovely, what a lovely gesture for Bernie. Bastard.
But yes, where were we? Yeah, so it's
Canada.
But it's all chicanes, but there are some decent straights, and there's a couple of all right passing opportunities there. I'm hopeful that we're not going to see some kind of massive parade.
Well, yeah, because it's Canada as opposed to the US. What happens at a Canadian parade, though?
Everybody's polite and says excuse me and asks people to get out of the way, but it doesn't actually get started because they're all stood in the marshalling area going, no, you go first. No, you go first, eh?
I mean, they can't do all the big, Will.i.am trapeze fire and shit because it's Canada. They're slightly more sensible.
Yeah.
You'll have and now to perform Blame Canada. It's Justin Bieber and Sheryl Crow.
Actually, there was a Canadian sports event where I think I saw the most Canadian thing happening ever. It was the Grey Cup final, which is the Canadian Football League equivalent of the Super Bowl.
Mm.
And it was being held at Tim Hortons Field, which is always a good start. And the halftime entertainment was Shania Twain being dog-sledded across the snow onto the stage, accompanied by some Mounties.
God, you usually have to pay for that sort of content online.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it was possible for it to have been any more Canadian than that.
Yes. Whilst I can't think of any Canadian band for the life of me. How bad is that?
Bare Naked Ladies?
Bare Naked. Whilst the Bare Naked Ladies play. Oh God, yeah, that's horrible. I mean, no offense to Shania. Is it Shania Twain? You said?
Yeah.
A bit of offense to Shania Twain. I can't stand her. But yeah, that's a horrible. Yeah, they can't do that in Canada. I think there's like Canada's a bit like Australia. I find in the fact that it's a partial street circuit. It reminds me of the 90s quite a bit, I guess, in that sense as well. But there's a racing respect, I think, that comes from Canada because in America, it's going to be harsh. You have quite a lot of American listeners, don't you?
Round about the last survey, 52%. But yeah, carry on.
Okay, so 52%. Where was that ever wronged anyone politically?
Yeah, carry on. At Kieran is boring. I'll just get that in now.
0780. No. So yeah, what? I think there's wider opportunities in America to become a racing star in a series of different series. Canada don't have that, but they have a lot of motor racing prestige. They don't have quite Australia's as well with V8 supercars and such. So I think there is a lot of respect for Formula One, and because you've got one of the greatest drivers of all time. So I hear. I was born 8 years after he died. One of the greatest drivers of all time. I do mean Gilles, not Jack.
I did. I did think that's what you were saying, baby.
Yes. I will say it, baby. So yeah, because you had Gilles Villeneuve there, and there was a lot of sort of Ayrton Senna-esque patronage to that man. It makes Canada this amazing place for motorsport, despite the fact that can you name another circuit in Canada that hosts top-level racing? Oh, there's people shouting now, and I'm going, I'm the moron here, aren't I?
Well, I mean, there's Mossport, where the Canadian Grand Prix used to be.
Yeah.
I mean, Toronto has the Indy Street Circuit.
Oh, of course it does, yeah.
And I think up to last season, when the Indy cars used to do the Belle Isle circuit in Detroit, I think about 5 feet of that was technically in Canada.
The 5 feet being the burning wheel of Roman Grosjean disappearing off underneath. And it's going over the border.
Yeah, if you crash on that corner, you get free healthcare.
Yeah. Quick, Dollar, we gotta get him. Okay, let's run after him. Oh, hey, we'll take him from here, eh? I don't know if that's racist. I hope it isn't. I'm aiming for it not to be.
But yeah, I think with Canada, Canada produces drivers, not series. Because I mean, the great Canadian racing, it's always been sort of twinned with the US because it's like North American series, sort of hopping either side of the border. Because I mean, you had the Can-Am sports cars going back a while, and there was a lot of Canadian success in that, and yeah, there was a few Canadian Canadian tracks, Canadian Tire Motor Speedways, Mosport. But there was a few Canadian tracks in there. Rallycross is big in Canada as well. Actually, there's quite a healthy rallycross scene with quite a lot of circuits, but nothing that you'd see Formula One cars on, unless Red Bull were doing a particular stunt at that time.
Yeah. Yeah, it doesn't feel like there's a huge amount, is there? Like you say, they create drivers.
Yeah, I mean, Canada's had some damn good drivers throughout the years. I mean, we take the piss out of Jacques, but you don't win a world championship just by sitting in the car and doing nothing.
No, that's the thing. I guess he had success before he came to F1, and therefore he was sort of set up for the fact that he was going to be in the quickest car, and if he didn't win it, then, or if rather his teammate didn't win it, he would. So he was on to a winner when he started.
Yeah.
But I mean, my first year of watching Formula One properly was 1996, and because in 1996 I was a kid from London, essentially at the time, who had the Damon Hill shirt from the Formula One shop down the road in Woking, I had to support Damon Hill. So Jacques Villeneuve was just him for the first year or so of me watching Formula One. But then, and then in 1997, Damon was at Arrows, Jacques was at Williams, and the main rival was Michael Schumacher, and everyone went, "Oh God, Schumacher! Come on, Jacques." So by default, I liked him after that. But there's not. He was a successful driver up until October 1997. After that, yeah, after that, not much. But
he was meant to be at Le Mans this weekend, just gone, but he gave up his seat to somebody else.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I mean, he's still going in. I won't say top level motorsport, but international level motorsport. He's doing stuff in IMSA and Euro NASCAR.
God. Euro NASCAR. That's a different culture.
Which actually races on road circuits, not ovals.
Really? Well, how many ovals are there outside of Germany in Europe that isn't now a housing estate? Rockingham.
No, well, yeah, but it's a car park.
Well, yeah. It's... Well, you mean Rockingham?
Rockingham is now a car park.
Is it a car park for...
The British second-hand motor trade body have bought it, and it's actually full of cars that they couldn't sell when the pandemic started.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh, God, I thought it was actually going to be turned into houses.
It probably will be, but I think they've still got about 150,000 cars to shift before they can do that.
Yeah. Oh, please take this. It's a lovely Citroen Saxo, and my family needs somewhere, so please just say $2,000, $1,000. Oh, he's gone. Yeah. Oh dear. Yeah, it's a shame really, but Euro NASCAR on the streets, it's probably quite good fun. There's a lot of street racing which does sort of work. Formula E sort of works on streets.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, Formula E did work in Monaco. That surprised the hell out of me with the amount of overtakes that were on during the E-Prix. It kind of gave me a false sense of hope for the F1.
I haven't got that sort of Price is Right losing horn on me, but muted trumpet noise. I'm not going to do it because I'll get it wrong. But yeah,
and I'm not allowed. Anyone that does iRacing with me, I'm not allowed to use that sample anymore. I've been banned from using my soundboard when I'm taking part in the iRacing league. I mean, it had such classics as the sad trombone, the rim shot. Jacques singing "Don't Say It, Baby." Brilliant.
Preloaded soundboard.
Yeah, and everyone's favourite, the shitty flute version of the F1 theme.
Oh God, one of my favourite moments when I said to Jane, "Shall we play the Formula One music to get us hyped up for the race this morning whilst we're having brunch?" And I press play, and that plays, and a woman choking on eggs on muffins. It's brilliant, just great. As the Formula E is an interesting one because I don't know how they've done it this year. I mean, you're going to lose all your audience, but I'll try and sum up quickly for those who
we've already
haven't
lost
seen
we've already lost North America, so there's not all that much to go.
Yeah. So the remaining Brits, yeah, Formula E. So they've redesigned the cars this year. It's for Gen 3 cars, and for some reason, you cause so much drag when in the lead that no one wants to be in the lead. So in Berlin, I think it was, there was about four of them going into the first corner together, going after you, like Charles and Max at Saudi Arabia last year when they're doing the DRS chicken. It's basically first place chicken for 38 laps, and then in the last lap, bit like IndyCar, in the last lap they're going, "Oh shit, one of us has to win this, don't we?" And by then they'd all run out of battery.
If it's that polite and they're all saying after you, that makes it Formula E. Any Canadians that had come back have just gone again.
Yeah. Canadian Grand Prix, that's what we're talking about.
Villeneuve.
Jacques Villeneuve was all right. Gilles Villeneuve was very good. Latifi was Latifi, and now we're stuck with Lance Stroll. That's the summary of it.
Yeah. One of my mates, shout out to Mr. Terra. He's got a theory that Stroll only seems to do so well in qualifying when to get Alonso to give him a tow. And I've looked at it, and it really does look like that.
Oh, Christ. Can Daddy make the 41-year-old man tow me? Yes, son.
But that is what it looks like. Please send me stats if I'm wrong. Yeah, we'll get him back on soon as well. But yeah, it looks like Alonso gets to do a lap and then has to tow Lance to get him into the next qualifying session.
I mean, it's a solid strategy for your team. If one driver is predominantly faster than the other, then let the fast driver set his lap, doesn't need a tow, he can get through, and then on his cool down lap, the other guy go fast, and then you can tow him. A better strategy is to sack Lance Stroll and get a Formula One driver in the other fucking seat. That would be the plan. But you can't do that because ka-ching.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, he is going to be costing them points and therefore prize money.
He's going to cost them second in the constructors.
Yeah.
Because there's no doubt that Alonso has been by far I reckon probably the second best driver this year behind Checo. But the championship will say he's going to be by far the third best driver on the track. Even if Mercedes catch up and they overtake him, you're going to look at that and go, well, Mercedes' car got better, but Fernando was the driver. But it's going to cost the team. They'll finish third, they'll finish fourth.
Yeah, I mean, God, if Ferrari gets it... Sorry.
Oh, you. No, I'll forgive you. I'll pretend I didn't hear it.
But yeah, I think, Aston Martin are going to end up shooting themselves in the foot and coming third in what was effectively a two-horse race.
Yeah, because, I mean, in the foot shooting competition, Mercedes have got all theirs out of the way third way into the season.
Yeah.
And they might just be able to pick up consistent third and fourth places now. Ferrari aren't going to get there because how are they so bad this year?
Right. Anyone who says, yeah, but Ferrari won Le Mans, just want to point this out. Ferrari, the organisation, provided the car and the drivers. However, the management of the team and the management of the car was being run by AF Corsa, which is a completely separate entity and nothing to do with Ferrari, even though the F in AF Corsa stands for Ferrari. It just so happens to be that it was the guy who set the team up's surname and he's not related to the Ferrari family.
It's got as much relation to Ferrari as Vauxhall Corsa.
Yes.
Oh, God. Yeah.
Actually, an even more obscure one. It's got as much relation to Ferrari as Mark Ferrari, who played the lead guitarist in the two Wayne's World films, has.
We whipping that out
of. I was listening to a band he was in the other day.
Oh, right, okay. Still going?
Yeah, and I think they've even got 3 original members left.
Yeah, wow. I mean, what's that, 35 odd years?
When did I go see him? Well, the first album, the band was called Keel, and their first album came out in 1984. So let's go 39.
39 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, impressive. 3 original members.
Yeah.
I mean, if they were like the Polyphonic Spree and there was 50 of them, then it's less impressive. But if there's like 5 of them, then, credit where credit's due. It's like the Offspring. The Offspring still have 3 consistent members who were there since the late 80s, which is somewhat impressive given they're the Offspring.
And a lead singer who collects Isle of Man stamps.
Does he?
Yes.
Dexter
Holland.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Collects Isle of Man stamps.
Yeah, right. This is actually no joke. A few years ago, when they were playing at Milton Keynes Bowl, he took a day trip over to the Isle of Man to visit the post office to collect all that year's first day covers. Because he is as well as having an engineering degree, he is an avid stamp collector, and the Isle of Man stamp issues are one of his specialities.
Wow. I mean, the thing is, it's one thing to be in the Offspring. It's one thing to be in the Offspring as a stamp collector, but then it's a whole other thing to be in the Offspring, a stamp collector, and to specialise in the Isle of Man.
Yeah, I mean that is niche. That is niche.
There's a crowd of one there, isn't there?
Yeah, basically.
I mean, I was always amazed when this is Patreon territory, basically, but I was always amazed.
It's 2 for 1. We haven't done a show for 5 weeks.
Yeah, good point. Yeah, everything. I'll give you my next month's calendar. It's not worth anything, but I was always amazed in Jack White's track. I think it's Lazaretto when he says "flying off to the Isle of Man" or something like that. I went, "Hey, what? Rewind that." Flying off to the Isle of Man. No, he didn't say. He doesn't mean the Isle of Man though, does he? He doesn't need the Isle of Man to give that a quick Google. Oh, he does. What? What's Jack White got business on the Isle of Man? Nothing compared to Dexter from The Offspring collects Isle of Man stamps. Absolutely nothing. You've been trounced, White. Yeah, mad. Where were we?
Canada-ish?
Canada-ish, yeah. I mean, I think it'll be a fun race, but I'm saying that more out of hope than anything. Last year, I don't remember last year because I fell asleep to that race because I'd seen Muse at the Isle of Wight Festival that night, and I recorded it, got back, and went, brilliant. A great night. I've just seen Muse, and now I've got a Canadian Grand Prix in front of me. Okay, I'm gone. That's it. So I don't really remember much of last year, but I don't know if has it outgrown F1. I hope not. I hope it still works a bit.
I think it does. I mean, I think from what I remember of last year's race, the new cars seem to work there.
Yeah.
I mean, the big thing is, I don't think it's worth doing predictions on this because we all know it's going to be a Red Bull win. I think we can say that for every race, which is why for anyone that's taking part in the prediction league, we've expanded it to the top 5.
Yeah, I was fine with the top 3. I was good at the top 3. Is every week I log on and I look at the results and I go, how did I do this week? Scrolling. Oh, I must be on the wrong page. There I'm bottom. Yeah.
But yeah, that's why I've expanded it to the top 5. It's now going to be who's going to be the second best team.
Yeah.
My prediction for that, I think we'll see a strong Mercedes performance.
Yeah, I'm willing to agree. I say that as if I'm downbeat about it. I'm not necessarily downbeat about it. I'm full on the Lee Stevens, Fernando Alonso hype train at the moment. But
I mean, it's personally killing me that Fernando's doing well because it means, oh God, he was right.
Well, I don't know if he was. Was he right or was he lucky?
I'm going to go lucky because then that doesn't mean he was right.
I mean, you know that whole thing Wayne Gretzky said, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take.
Yeah.
Alonso's taken 100% of the shots. He's missed 90 of them, and he's finally lucked into one. Is what I kind of think with that. I don't know. Was he right to leave Alpine? Obviously. Would Vettel have got 6 podiums or whatever it is, 5 podiums in that car this year? I don't think so. What it proves to me is that. Wait, sorry. Are you annoyed that Alonso's right or Lee's right?
That Lee's right.
Yeah. It took 2 minutes to realise that. Yeah, that annoys me as well. Yeah. Yeah, it annoys me that Lee was right. Yeah, because I was every time for the last 5 years of me listening to this podcast where he's gone, no, Alonso's still one of the best drivers on the grid. Even in 2019 when he wasn't there, he was, Alonso's one of the best drivers on the grid. I thought, no, he's at least now that Alonso's disappeared, we won't have to hear he's coming back. Oh God, no. And yeah, you're right. Lee was right.
Hurts, doesn't it?
Yeah. He's not listening to this. That's the important thing. That's the important thing. If everyone can join in and agree Lee was right, then it's said on record, but he doesn't have to hear it.
Well, I mean, don't forget, he is going to be going somewhere where the walls are lined with tinfoil, so he won't be able to pick up any internet signals.
Yeah. Yeah, the internet doesn't get through argon, so he's all right.
Well, that's what they want you to believe.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what O2 want me to believe. Why does my village get no signal? Argon. Riddled with it, Brady on the Isle of Wight. Argon. Yeah, I'm annoyed that Lee's right too. Sorry, I went down the path of Alonso was right, and that annoys me enough. But yeah. Again, with Lee, the problem with Lee is he tends to hit 100% of the shots that he takes when it comes to Formula One. He's always sort of right.
You know why that is? He predicts everything.
Yeah, good point. Yeah, he's spread bets.
Yeah, yeah. Lance Stroll will finish in the top 20. Following week, told you.
Yeah, there it is. It's here on paper. 19th. Look at that, Paul. 19th. It's there. Yeah. The thing is, I guess with Alonso at least, it's now got to a point in the Alonso story where it's quite nice to see him doing well, because I guess for myself, I still begrudge him 2007. I'm still happier that Vettel won in 2010 and 2012. I'm still quite happy in a sense that he returned to McLaren and it was a lump of crap. Despite the fact that Jensen was there at the same time, and obviously because I'm young, impressionable, and British, I quite like Jensen. Whereas now I'm at the point where I'm going, he's in his 40s. It's the underdog story, but he's not an underdog. He's still got it, so I'm quite happy with that.
Yeah, he's not become the guy that's too old that doesn't know when to give up.
No, yeah, he's not Kimi.
He's not the Newcastle United John Barnes.
Bye, American listeners. We'll see you in 115 seconds when you fast forwarded this bit. He's not any Green Day album after 2009.
There you go. Yeah, you hit your prime. It's like in Train Spotting. You get your peak and you never come down from it.
Yeah, I've not seen Train Spotting. I don't know if that's a reference to the book, the film, or actual Train Spotting.
No, it's in the film where they're having a conversation about once an artist has hit the peak, it's an unstoppable decline from there. It's like what was it? Bowie would never top Let's Dance.
Yeah. Right.
And guess what? He didn't.
No, he didn't. No. It's like, I don't know. There's so many drivers who you sit there going, they're going to win 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 if this continues. And Max is currently one of those. And I can't now imagine a world where Max is finishing 6th in qualifying and going, another rough day, move on. Because I think once he starts losing, he won't hang around. But we saw Vettel do it, and that was weird because you spend 4 years watching Vettel win absolutely sodding everything, and then his car is a piece of crap in 2014. Then he has to go to Ferrari, and Ferrari are a piece of crap, full stop. So you don't expect it to happen, but it does.
Yeah, I mean, the fairly rapid decline of Kimi.
Yeah. Yeah, because I was saying this to Jane yesterday. I was talking about 2013 season that she didn't see at the time. I was trying to explain, well, he went to Lotus and he was good again all of a sudden. And you go, oh, that's interesting. So we still got a bit of Kimmy inside him. So Kimmy's good every 5 years, but the 4 years in between, he's no good, basically. Yeah.
Yeah, that would about do it. And I think, I think even though not a world champion, but I think we're seeing Bottas going through that now. I think Bottas has peaked and is now on the downward spiral.
I don't see any team that will buy a Bottas right now. I can't think of any.
Well, rumour has it when the Audi full takeover happens, Carlos Sainz is the number one choice.
Yeah. Well, and it makes sense. I know you're looking at 3 years away, I guess, but. Yeah. It would make sense to have a Carlos Sainz over 3 years ago. You weren't looking at Bottas and going, "Oh, he'd be handy in a new team." But with Carlos, you probably could. Yeah, Bottas is done. I think. I wouldn't be surprised if he finishes this year.
I think he might do one more, but I think that would just be. It would be the farewell tour.
Yeah.
It would be like Vettel last season.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Complete with black and white Instagram post. And then, strangely, every single photo his mum's ever taken of him uploaded to his bloody Instagram. Now it's for good stuff. Oh, it's his 4th birthday again.
Yeah, for someone who avoided social media for that long.
Yeah. Now let's put everything on there. Absolutely everything. It's going to be in next year. It's going to be Vettel reacts to Gangnam Style.
It's like that chilling moment when your mum discovers a new technology.
Oh no! Don't.
We're going back to what would it be 2002, and it was the most chilling text message I ever got. From my mum saying, "I've worked out how to text now. Your life is over."
That's a good sense of humour, though.
Oh,
that's good. My mum has a knack. Well, the worst thing my mum ever did. Well, no, I can't say that on air. She's done a lot of awful things. The worst thing she's ever done in terms of social media was. Again, I'm sorry for this. My first year at uni in 2009, I started dating a girl called Rosanna, and it comes up on. It was back in the time when you're 18 years old, you're an idiot, and all of your life details has to go on Facebook. So you've put in a relationship with Rosanna such and such, and you couldn't comment on things at the time, or you could have commented on things, but I don't think you could comment on that. So my mum decided to send me a message, just saying. Woo, little man, you got yourself a girlfriend. Go you, love mummy, or something like that. And I just looked at it when I logged on and thought, that's not a message, that's on my wall. And I've come back to 14 comments from people I haven't seen in years. people who I've forgotten about. It was about 13 years old, but somehow friends on Facebook going, lol, Kieran, mummy's boy. Just... awful. And now she posts on Facebook, and she's got that, those things on Facebook where you've got little animated characters yourself, memojis or whatever they call it. It's you. It's like the person with the cake or the person cheering, all that. For the last 2 years, she hasn't sussed how to work it, and she's a bald man, and it doesn't make any sense. I want to go to her and go, "That's not how it works. You're meant to create yourself, and You're not bald, Mum. You don't have glasses. This doesn't make sense."
It's good to know there's somebody out there with parents that are as technologically inept as mine have a tendency to be.
Your parents are based out in Spain, aren't they?
Yeah, they're in the Canary Islands.
How do they deal with? Do they interact with technology?
Yes.
Oh dear. Shit.
I have actually this afternoon, come back from the post office where I sent my mum a new phone.
Yeah.
My old phone. So my mum is about to get a Samsung Galaxy S21 Ultra.
Okay.
It's got an incredible camera on it. It's got an absolute ton of storage, and I am fucking dreading what she gets up to with that.
Don't give her. You haven't preloaded any apps. Have you wiped it entirely?
I've wiped it entirely. It's got nothing of mine left on it.
Okay.
I set it up with her Google account, so it's only got her apps on. I haven't installed anything else.
Okay.
But, oh, God.
I want to write to the bastard that let my mum download Snapchat. I want to speak to that person and say, because we all know what Snapchat's for the majority, right? That's not my mum, thankfully. I don't think. Wouldn't surprise me, but I don't think that's my mum. But she has this knack of taking a photo on Snapchat, screenshotting it, and uploading it to Facebook. I don't want to get involved because she'll think I'm interested. So I need to sit there and silently go, there's a button. It's called save to camera roll. You just have to press that fucking button. And you don't have all the 30 different symbols around you saying, oh, do you want to scissors cut this photo? Or, oh, layer on a dog's face on it. Just download the photo, please, Mum. So this is 3 legs 4 therapy.
Much.
Yeah. My dad's fine. My dad interacts with his phone fantastically. He'll play some leapy leprechaun game thing on it, and he'll send me stupid messages about Liam Lawson taking someone out. That's all he does. It's grand. My dad's doing it right.
Yeah, wish my parents worked like that. Unfortunately, both of my parents are kind of similar to how your mum is, which is, I would say it's sending me prematurely grey, but I can't get away with it at this age. It's just sending me grey.
The good thing is we're both distant enough geographically away from our mums to, you haven't got them Every Boy Loves Raymond style walking across the road going, what's a TikTok? So that's sort of a result in a sense.
Yeah, I mean, when I go on holiday to Tenerife, I actually stay in a hotel about 20 minutes drive up the coast from them, so we're close, but not too close.
No. Not walking distance.
Oh, God, no.
Judge how far your parents can walk and stay another 100 yards further.
Yeah, that's the key. That's exactly the one.
Yeah.
Moving back to motorsport.
Sorry, I won't come back.
You bloody better. Lee's away for at least 3 weeks if he returns, and Flood's missing presumed
presumed not in Nashville.
If he is
in a UFO, which is definitely that bloke's garage.
If he is in Nashville, he's possibly in Lee's suitcase. What was I going to say? Yeah, we had the 24 Hours of Le Mans this week with participation and then some by Antonio Giovinazzi.
The participation award won it. I didn't think about it that way. What does that say about Le Mans? No, it shouldn't. It shouldn't.
Well, going back, oh God, must be about 3 years, maybe even longer, when Virtual Startman was on. And he said he's got a theory where drivers can get to a certain speed where they peak, and then anything faster than that is a little bit beyond them. And it looks like Giovinazzi's speed is a WEC hypercar.
Yeah.
Because
good for him.
He was absolutely bloody flawless all weekend, as were the rest of the team, except for that last pit stop where they had the electrical fault and it looked like they were going to lose it in the last half hour.
It was all going to fall apart. Yeah. Good for him, because this is going to sound obvious to say, but when F1 drivers fall out and they go and do WEC, it's very much in we'll pop up in WEC. I'm waiting for Latifi to pop up in WEC. Waiting for, I can't think of any other driver that's really recently left. Waiting for Kvyat to pop up in WEC, and he has now. But just popping up in WEC is not necessarily a bad thing. Look at, I guess, Buemi, Nakajima, Anthony Davidson doesn't really count.
He's retired now, so no.
Yeah, it doesn't count, does he, I guess? But it's leaving F1 is not the end of a career that it might feel like for the first week after you've left.
I mean, look at Brendan Hartley with all his experience.
Yeah. Multiple Le Mans winner, Brendan Hartley, I want to say.
Yeah.
And good for Giovinazzi. I remember back to it was during the pandemic 3 years ago when they had him on that, what's it called, Beyond the Grid podcast with Tom Clarkson. And it was just after Sainz was announced to go to Ferrari, and they were putting Ricciardo in the McLaren. And they said to him, "You're on the Ferrari Young Driver program. Carlos Sainz was not. Why do you think they've picked Carlos Sainz above you?" And of course, everyone knows the correct answer is because Carlos Sainz is better than Antonio Giovinazzi. But you're never going to admit that. So he said something like, Mattia Binotto rang him the day before and said, "We're going to put Carlos in the seat because we know he'll be a good teammate to Leclerc. For when Leclerc leaves, you can lead the team." And I was I think I got out of the shower and I was drying myself, listened to it, and I almost fell over. What bollocks is that?
Yeah.
So,
hang on, you just got out of the shower, you were drying yourself, and you said, "What bollocks is that? I think you may need help."
Oh no, yeah, there's close ones. I just remember loudly laughing that because that makes no sense. Sorry, we're just letting him be slow because we know the car's not going to be very good. But Leclerc will leave. You'll be our number one, Antonio. Just stay at Sauber. Just stay there for a while.
Yeah, keep participating.
Yeah. And James Collado was one of the other drivers, a name you haven't heard in about 5 years as well.
Yeah, all of a sudden he pops up and like, oh right, okay, so he's found pace.
Yeah. Did you know who the third guy was? This is going to sound bad because it's basically what this shows off is I tune into WEC once a year for Le Mans. I don't know the non F1 or non F2 drivers essentially. But do you know who the third one was?
No idea.
No.
I'm gonna have to look it up.
It was the most stereotypical Italian name. It was something like Alessandro Pierluigi or something close to that.
Alessandro Peguidi.
Peguidi,
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, from the looks of things, his highlight was Super League formula for Team Galatasaray in 2008.
Oh God, that crock of shite of a series.
Actually, saying that he's won the GT Pro class 3 of the last 5 seasons in WEC.
That's better. You see, that's a lot better than Super League, the only trophy Tottenham have won in my last 30 years. They got third at the Monza round of Super League. Yeah, no, it's interesting because someone like Giovinazzi, you could have seen if it wasn't for WEC. Well, he did a year in Formula E, but he was stuck at the back because he was in the awful Dragon team, and if he wasn't at the back, he'd retired because of a fault because the team were no good at the time, basically. So I'm glad that the next thing he stepped into away from Formula E, he's actually had success, because in 2016, that Formula 2 year, he was stonking. It was his first year in the championship. Gasly was by far the title favourite. It was, I think, Gasly's, I want to say, his third year in Formula 2. It might have been his second year. And no one expected Giovinazzi, with the Chicken Legend sponsorship they had on his car at the time, to even contest. But I think he only lost it in the last round to Gasly. So he deserved a seat in Formula 1. He got the seat in Formula 1 when Wehrlein did his back-in at the... What was it?
It was the Race of Champions.
Oh, yeah, of course. Yeah, he tried to kill himself at the Race of Champions by going 80 miles an hour into a 20. So yeah, Giovinazzi deserved that seat in Formula 1. But he didn't... When he got it, he blew it. And then when he got it permanently, it felt like the 2016... The guy who won both rounds at Baku in 2016 looked incredible. It was a different driver. So I'm glad he's got the success.
Yeah, because I mean, it looks like he's pretty strong in that hypercar. I mean, at the moment, the team are in 5th, but there's still a fair few. What is it? Three races to go.
Yeah, Le Mans always the fifth one, isn't it?
It is. It's fourth one this season.
Oh, I'll take that back.
Because there's only 7.
Oh, okay.
Because they dropped a race, but I can't remember which one. I don't know. The wet calendar seems to change every year because there was the super seasons that started and finished with Le Mans, and
yeah, the point in that was daft.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But what have we got left? Monza, Fuji, and Bahrain still to come.
How do you fit 30 odd? Well, you do fit 30 on cars on Monza, I guess, don't you? But different speeds, lapping. That's got to be chaos.
I hope so.
Yeah, fingers crossed. Yeah. How do I subscribe to Eurosport? I've got it here somewhere. I didn't watch it on dodgy streaming sites all weekend. I don't know what you're on about. Yeah, no, I'm happy for Giovinazzi. I would say I'm happy for Ferrari, but like you said, it's not Ferrari.
It's not. It's a Ferrari car being run by somebody like Haas. It's a Ferrari car being run by somebody else.
Yeah, it's very much the Tag Heuer of actual racing machines.
Yeah,
you can't honestly believe a bloke who makes a really lovely watch also happens to make the quickest Formula One car on the grid. You can't imagine that someone who makes a Ferrari makes a quick car. It all works the same.
Yeah, I mean, you look at the rest of the top end of hypercar from Le Mans. There's a fair few familiar names in there that have moved over. And Gutierrez didn't finish 11th.
Imagine that, finishing 11th in a 10-car formula.
I mean, that is the most Gutierrez thing that it is possible to do.
Yeah.
Where did the chicken car finish? Because there was the chicken car.
The chicken car? Which one? Who was in the chicken car?
Sean Gelael.
Oh, God, of course it was. Yes. I can't see it here. You're listening to two middle-aged men go through Wikipedia, in case you're wondering. Is it worth the money each month? That's what you got to...
Fifth in LMP2.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's not great.
With potentially the most inbred driver on any grid wherever, because he's a Habsburg.
Oh, is it Frederick Habsburg who's in that car?
Ferdinand.
Ferdinand.
Or to give him his full name, Ferdinand Zvonimir Maria Balthus Keith Michael Otto Antal Barnum Leonard von Habsburg Lothringen.
De Pfeffel Johnson. Oh, yeah, that is a ridiculous name. Yeah, but he's somewhere related to royalty. Did this not come up on a Total Shunt or something?
I think it did, yeah. But no, he is related to the Habsburg family, which was the most inbred royal family of Europe.
Oh dear. Oh dear. That's not a title you want.
No.
We're the most inbred. We're number one. We're number one. Aren't we, sister? Mum, wife.
Got two brothers called Darryl, I swear. Now that is a joke for anyone that remembers the 80s.
Sorry.
I'm in a minority of one here. So, yes. Canadian Grand Prix this weekend. Obviously, an afternoon start for those in North America and an evening start for Europe. Some of us will be about on Discord in the text chat if you want to join in with the banter. Kieran, I've now given you podcaster permissions in the Discord server.
Ooh.
You are officially one of us. With great power comes great responsibility.
Cool. I mean, I have no way to use it. As in, I wouldn't know how to. But thank you.
Just go on and chat to people. That's basically all
cool.
Basically all we do, and usually share a lot of cat memes. Whenever the race gets boring, the cat photos start coming out because a lot of F1 fans appear to be cat owners. So we just share pet pics while we're watching the racing.
The problem for I can't join in on the live chat on the Discord because we're on Now TV. We're a minute behind most other things. So essentially, I can't look at my phone, and I have to say to my dad, if something happens, don't text me for 90 seconds. Just leave it. It was when in the 2018 German Grand Prix, and he messaged me going, "He's fucked it." And I'm looking at Vettel in the lead going, what are you on about? He's got a 20-second lead. Oh, he's in the wall. Yeah. Right. I had to say to him, just leave it a minute or so. Spoiler alert. So yeah, I can't look at I have to look afterwards at various other chat strands.
One thing I found out on the F1 actual live timing website, you can put a delay on there. So if you're watching it delayed,
oh, that's smart.
Yeah, you can actually sync it with how you're watching it.
Yeah, that's good. That's a clever idea.
Yeah, I found that out during Monaco.
I don't understand those people who will watch a Twitch stream of two people talking about it at the same time. I don't get, because I quite like going back afterwards to watch the little, and Lee's not here, so it's fine. I quite like catch up with a bit of Matt and Tommy. I do like that. I like them. Well, I like Tommy a lot. Matt can great, but I do like going back there and just seeing little bits of a race and seeing how they react. But I couldn't imagine setting my phone up next to the TV and going, this is how Formula One was intended to be watched, with a Twitch stream alongside the race.
Well, do you remember it was when Sky Digital first kicked off and you could have the alternative commentary on football games, and it was the fan zone.
Oh, yeah.
And they'd get a supporter from each club.
Yeah, and when there was a goal, it was chaos, basically. Yeah, I'd forgotten about that. Awful. Yeah, awful is always two lager-louted up absolute ultras of each team, and you're sitting there with, it's Man City 7, Peterborough 0, and the 8th goal goes in, and the bloke's on his feet as if it's 1-0 in the 90th minute of the World Cup final.
Yeah,
and this poor bloke, Peterborough fan, is going, cheers, mate.
I've nothing to live for.
Yeah, it is not worth it. Childish. Actually, that's one thing. They're doing a child's commentary for the Hungarian Grand Prix, aren't they?
Yeah, I was a little bit sort of cynical about that, but looking more into it, it actually looks like it could be quite good. I mean, it was pointed out to me that every year the NFL do one game on Nickelodeon where they spray virtual gunge over the end zone, which I just thought was like, what the hell's the point? And a friend of mine who works in the sport TV industry pointed out that they actually won 2 Emmy Awards for that coverage, and I'm like, oh, well, that shows what I know.
Oh, that comes into the you can win an Emmy for any old bollocks. Okay, so when Stefan Diggs crossed the line, we'll just slime him. Yeah, all right.
Yep, thanks for taking me down a peg or 20, Travis.
God, what a dreadful. I mean, I've seen it before. I've been shown clips, and my mate's a massive Ravens fan.
Thoughts and prayers.
He'll be listening to this. Steg, if you're listening, ignore that. We will get tickets in a couple of weeks. It's fine. But he's sent me clips of the Nickelodeon stuff before, and it's when SpongeBob is commentating on it, and because it's live, it's essentially a still image with a mouth going, "Yes, that was a touchdown," because they've got nothing else they can do with live animated technology. Awful.
No, apparently it puts a great strain on the artist's wrists.
Can we just do it live? No, Homer. There was back in 2009, and I was on the Simpsons Facebook. Put it in MGUH. I think the guy who runs it is a guy called James, who listens to this podcast. I think he pointed out, or someone else pointed out.
Is he American? Because he might not do now.
Yeah, sorry. He listened to the first 12 minutes and went, "Oh, it's that gobshite from the group this week." I think he pointed out that it's been done before, and I remember it in 2009 when BBC got the rights back. They did a CBBC commentary for about 4 or 5 races of the F1. I think they only did it for the main race. I want to say Ben Edwards was partially involved in it. He gave the factual bits, whilst Hacker T-Dog or someone like that gave the, oh, isn't it all weird? Let's play a game. We're just normal F1 drivers, that sort of thing that they'd add in there. But they did a quiz on. Me and my dad tuned into it briefly, and they did a quiz called "Is it Jarno Trulli or Jarno Falsely?" And we both went, "Oh fucking hell! How do you get out? Red button, quick, escape." So it's going to be that sort of stuff. It's going to be one of those things that it's going to be worth watching afterwards.
Again, behind the sofa.
From a great distance, on incognito mode, on someone else's laptop.
I wonder if Lee wants me to technology sit while he's on holiday. Actually,
you
no,
don't want.
No, I don't.
Yeah.
His is the only laptop I'll use while wearing gloves.
Why is the lid not opening? Crack! Oh God! Sorry, Lee. If you are on a plane listening to this, I'm sorry.
I'm not. That is right. Well, thank you for joining us this week, Kieran, and thank you for being our. Do we call you summer intern or something like that?
Yeah, work experience, I guess. I won't put it on the LinkedIn, but I'll nudge it to people. Thanks for having me. It's been genuinely. I'm not going to give you the whole iTunes review speech again. We're not going to do that again. But I love this podcast, so it's really great to be on. I really appreciate it.
No, well, thank you for coming in at sort of a panic notice. we should have somewhat of a bigger team next week. Sean will definitely be back because she'll have a chance to rest her voice after God knows how much news coverage during the TT, because it's the only time over here that any news happens.
Yeah.
I won't sound as croaky next week because I did 6 gigs with my Iron Maiden tribute band in the space of 10 days.
I mean, we've discussed this off air, but I mean, you may as well share the brilliant scheduling that you had on it.
Yeah, the first 4 nights were one after the other. It was Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and by the time we were setting up on Sunday night, I opened my mouth and I could have said, "Do you want fries with that?" because it sounded like the teenager from The Simpsons. I went 3 days without actually saying a word, which was one of the reasons why there wasn't a show last week, because I physically couldn't speak. Sean loved every second of it.
Oh, finally, we got to book him some more Island Maiden gigs. He needs to do more. Maybe Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday in a row. That every week. Let's say that. Book him in. I won't be around till Tuesday next week.
Yeah, we're gonna do the show Tuesday because I know you've got other commitments because you're being all music journey, aren't you?
I'm doing the Isle of Wight Festival for Vectis Radio, FM 104.6, and online. I'm down there basically. So I'm going to be one with the croaky voice, from shouting at Isle of Wight bands, trying to get an interview, whilst the next Isle of Wight band does the sound check next door, basically. So that'll be me next week. So
yes, there will be a show next week. Don't panic when it doesn't come out. Tuesday afternoon at the usual time, on Monday night for Patreons. Talking of which, if you want to support the show, just go to patreon.com/3legs4wheels and donate anything from £1, $1 or €1 a month. And it will go to paying for Jakemans and vocal zones at the moment. Dare test me blood sugars after all those throat sweets last week.
But doctor, they were good sugars. They were...
I bought them from the chemist. How could it be a bad thing?
What do you mean Krispy Kremes isn't a chemist? What are you going on about?
The cabinet in Asda, they've got a Lloyd's pharmacy in there.
It all counts. Jakemans, a pack of Strepsils, a lint egg, a kilogram of dairy milk. It's all the same.
Oh, that reminds me, I've got a bottle of chocolate milk in the fridge. That's not going to see the night out. If you want to get in touch with us, it's at 3legs4wheels on all the socials and 3legs4wheels@gmail.com. If you have to say old school and email now. even though got an email last week. I was very, very surprised. Don't forget the Prediction League as well. Your top 5, you can go to the website, threelegs4wheels.com, and do your predictions for the Canadian Grand Prix this weekend, which will be up by the time you listen to this, I promise, because I've fixed the site. I've just not put everything in from Spain because I've been busy for 2 weeks. And if you want to get in touch individually on Twitter, we are at Pablo100 for me, at Sean Cowper, at Flood21, at Must See Audio, and
at Kieran is boring. Kieren is boring. First thing that came to my mind when I created it.
So we will be back next week. Like I say, a day late, and if no one subscribes to Patreon, definitely $1 short.
A Canadian dollar short.
There's enough loonies on here without asking for more of them.
I've probably lost 100 of your patrons from my pure anti-American. I don't mean it. I love America.
Oh, it's all right. You heard that show the other week where Flood managed to upset just about every country on the planet within the first 10 minutes.
Yeah.
What is it about people from the Isle of Wight being massive xenophobes?
Whoa! Wow! Now, hold up. Right, I think I've prepared a statement. Right, as someone who presents 3 shows on the community station of the year, I have an upstanding in that community, which I have to keep up, and therefore I have to categorically say, for the lawyers only, we're not xenophobes. We just don't like anyone from a different body of water. That's all I'm saying. Right. I say I don't mean I mean the others. But we're very accepting, lovely, proud people. Oh, I might even go and see one of those mainland bands at the festival this weekend.
Oh, you mean you're not just going to sit there and watch Wet Leg on repeat?
Not well, yeah. I hear the Pulps are good. Those Chemistry Brothers, they look exciting. Robin Williams. Gone for a decade, now headlining the Isle of Wight. Oh, Robbie Williams. That's it. Sorry, wrong guy. God, what did I do? Why did I say that?
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, the smooth tones of Jacques Villeneuve.
We brought him back. I don't know why we brought him.
Yeah. He's singing Angels. Do some comedy. Oh, you mean me?
I'm gonna go. I'm gonna sign off now.
Sorry.
Before we get taken off air.
Yeah, sorry.
Thanks a lot for listening. Thanks a lot for putting up with our really disrupted schedule. But things should get back to normal now, and we'll even do some shows during the summer break. So take it easy, and we'll see you next week. Bye-bye.
Bye.